It's no secret that Ken Fisher hates annuities. In fact, he's orchestrated one of the most successful attacks on any financial product in history. When investors do a Google search on annuities, a Ken Fisher ad pops up explaining why annuities are ripoffs and why they should be avoided at all costs. Ken Fisher even went so far as to register the phrase, "I hate annuities." In fact, on Fisher's website, you will find the following. Quote, "Fisher Investments does not sell annuities. We never have and never will. Why? Our founder, Ken Fisher, is fond of saying, 'I hate annuities,' because he believes anything you can do with an annuity can be done better with other investment vehicles." Close quote. You see, Ken Fisher sees annuities as the perfect marketing tool to build his own asset management firm. Historically, annuities have been a huge source of consumer complaints, which has created a huge opening for a marketing maven like Ken Fisher, who can position his own asset management platform as the obvious alternative. But there's a huge problem with Ken Fisher's approach. Annuities are capable of doing two things that no other financial product can do. First, they allow retirees to spend more every year than they would through a traditional stock portfolio approach. And second, they allow consumers to worry less about running out of savings through a feature known as mortality credits. To someone who is familiar with the academic studies on annuities, Fisher's aggressive anti-annuity stance makes little sense. According to reams of academic studies that go back to the early 1960s, annuities are the best way to maximize retirement income. Many financial fiduciaries like Ken Fisher seem to be unaware of the academic studies that have mathematically proven the benefit of integrating guaranteed lifetime income into one's retirement plan. Nobel Laureate Richard Thaler, in his famous New York Times article, expressed his dismay over retirees' failure to include guaranteed lifetime income in their retirement plans. Peter Diamond, also a Nobel laureate and MIT professor of economics, no less, co-authored a sweeping analysis of guaranteed lifetime income that said, quote, "The near absence of voluntary annuitization is puzzling in the face of theoretical results that suggest large benefits to annuitization," close quote. So there's a massive information gap facing a generation of retirees that are simply unaware of the value annuities can play in helping them spend more income in retirement and enjoy the benefits of having guaranteed lifetime income they will never outlive. And this gap is not likely to be bridged when the nation's most famous financial fiduciary is paying for ads that proclaim annuities to be scams and ripoffs every time the unwitting retiree does a Google search. What is perhaps most puzzling is that Fisher apparently feels he faces no legal risk in mounting a public campaign that strikes at the heart of what is mathematically in the best interest of the individual investor. In an article entitled, "Can Ken Fisher Have It All?" Dr. Michael Finke, one of the foremost experts on the benefits of guaranteed lifetime income, poses the following scenario to illustrate the problematic nature of Fisher's approach. What would happen if a 65-year-old, freshly minted retiree with a $50,000 contract value and a $5,000 annual lifetime income benefit were to have Ken Fisher's organization analyze the viability of her contract? According to Finke, quote, "A healthy 65-year-old woman who has enough wealth to meet the Fisher minimum can expect on average to live to age 89. The internal rate of return, or IRR, on the policy liquidated for $50,000 at age 65 would be 8.8%. Can a fiduciary liquidate an annuity for an IRR above what an advisor could construct from a bond ladder net of fees to a client's average expected longevity?" Close quote. The answer, of course, is no. Yet many advisors would liquidate the annuity. Justification for doing so might include that stocks could outperform net of fees, or that there is some risk that the insurer could default. But more than likely, the reason why Fisher, or any other fiduciary for that matter, might recommend liquidating the annuity is because they will receive an ongoing stream of income in the form of investment fees. To be fair, there are balanced and comprehensive financial advisors out there who will tell their clients that they should not liquidate the annuity because they won't be able to achieve the same rate of return with a commensurate amount of risk. But if an annuity provided an 8.8% lifetime payout, an advisor like Fisher would have to produce returns as high as 10%, once his 1.2% management fee is included. According to Finke, quote, "A fiduciary advisor like Fisher, charging over 100 basis points to manage assets, should be setting a threshold below 4% at today's rates. If he is recommending that the client sell the annuity when the IRR exceeds this percentage, then it is possible that compensation conflicts are driving the recommendation," close quote. All of this begs the question, is what Ken Fisher doing actually legal? How can he make recommendations that ultimately run counter to the average retiree's best interest? According to Finke, quote, the failure to recommend annuities to retirees by AUM compensated advisors has resulted in a loss of consumer welfare, but this loss is harder to estimate than other direct financial losses from conflicted advice. A smart advisor like Fisher will recognize that he can offer conflicted advice with little risk. He could even create a successful marketing strategy and revenue model that will allow him to successfully compete with AUM advisors who provide more balanced advice, close quote. So how do you solve a problem in which our nation's most famous financial fiduciary, Ken Fisher, is actively persuading consumers to liquidate their annuities in favor of an investment platform that couldn't possibly produce the same types of results? According to Finke, quote, the government needs to acknowledge that the annuity puzzle is a significant consumer issue that will never be solved unless advisors have incentives to recommend a comprehensive plan that is in the best interest of clients. This is especially important as the first wave of baby boomer retirees seeks advice on how to turn their 401k savings into a lifestyle while bearing the risk of not knowing how long their retirement will last, close quote. In conclusion, is Ken Fisher's anti-annuity campaign illegal? As of right now, no. But is it unethical? Almost certainly. In the next 10 years, I'm looking to put 100,000 Americans on the road to the 0% tax bracket. If you would like some help implementing a balanced, comprehensive approach to tax-free retirement that shields you from the impact of higher taxes, head on over to davidmcknight.com and click on the Connect with an Advisor button. I'm happy to refer you to an advisor in the Power Zero network that has been trained, vetted, and qualified personally by me. If you are a financial professional and want to learn how to become a certified Power Zero advisor, head over to powerzero.com and opt into my free video series. And if you have any comments or questions, feel free to drop them into the comment section below. I'll respond to every single one of them personally. And don't forget to click like, subscribe, and the bell so you never miss a video. This is David McKnight. I look forward to seeing you on the next video.